Hi everyone. Today's video is going to run a little longer than usual, and I do apologize for that. But, what even is this? What is this? Oh, that's fine. I can open that. I did something, and I don't know how I feel about it. Don't even know, because Windows 10 lost support on the 14th of October. So I decided to switch to Linux. And now I'm kind of regretting that because I'm just now finding out that I need a workaround to play Windows games, which I didn't know that. So this is going to be fun. I'm going to find a workaround. That's what this video is. So where is my... here is my conversation with Gemini. It said, my laptop runs Windows 10 and is not compatible with Windows 11. So I want to remove Windows 10 and replace it with Linux Mint. Can you walk me through the best course of action? And it walked me through a pretty generic path to doing that, and it gave me a video on how to do that. And I ended up following some steps and then getting stuck. And so I called a buddy of mine, and he did the process for me. He ported into my ported into my laptop and just did the whole thing for me. But now, I don't know how to play any of my games. And the main one that I was initially concerned about is Genshin Impact. So, here I said, okay, done. Now I need to work out the kinks. I told a friend to port into my laptop and put Genshin Impact on it, and I'm not sure what he did, but the launcher icon says hoyoplay.lnk, and it's not being reliable. I could open the launcher yesterday, but nothing happened when I tried to open the game, and I can't do either one right now. And so Gemini gave me a response, and we're gonna look at it, sort of. I already had problems with this response. We're gonna find those problems and then work from there. But yeah, that is today's video. We are going to figure out how to get Genshin Impact running, and then go from there and figure out how to get other Windows games running, because let me open this, and desktop, and games. I got Middle-earth: Shadow of War, which is a amazing Windows game. But, well, it's also on PlayStation and Xbox, but I had it on Windows, and now it won't open. Won't open at all. For some reason this will open, I guess because it's also a mobile game, and this will open, probably for the same reason. This will run, but it's not reliable. Sometimes it crashes when the mods are loading, sometimes it crashes when I'm going into the world. Only about a third of the time do I actually land in the game and actually get going. But, anyways. So we are going to listen to what Gemini has to say and work from there.
That's a very common experience when trying to run Windows-only games like Genshin Impact on Linux. The kink you're experiencing is due to the nature of running Windows software on a non-Windows operating system, which requires a compatibility layer like Wine or Proton. Your friend likely installed the Windows launcher using Wine, and the file extension linked to .lnk confirms it's a Windows shortcut that your Linux desktop is attempting to handle. Here is the best course of action to properly set up Genshin Impact and other Windows games on Linux Mint for a reliable experience. Troubleshooting Genshin Impact on Linux Mint. Genshin Impact is notoriously tricky to run on Linux because its anti-cheat system often causes conflicts with the Wine Proton compatibility layer. The reliable method is to use a specialized gaming tool like Lutris or Heroic Games Launcher.
And my friend did put Lutris on here. So, yeah, there's Lutris. And I saw him messing with it when he put everything on my laptop. So.
Step 1. Install a game manager, Lutris or Heroic. These tools automate the complex configurations required for Windows games. Lutris is often the go-to for its community-driven installers. Install Lutris. Open the software manager, found in your Linux Mint menu. Search for Lutris and install it. Tip: for the latest version, consider using the Flatpak version or following the installation instructions on the Lutris website, as the version in the standard repositories can sometimes be outdated. Step 2. Use a Genshin-specific installer. Lutris has community scripts that manage the exact version of Wine and the specific settings needed for Genshin Impact.
This is the step that gave me the issue. The entirety of step 2. So, let's talk about that.
Open Lutris and click the search button, or go to the Lutris website and search for Genshin Impact.
When I tried that before, I did not find Genshin, so I had to actually go to the website, like they said. Okay. Lutris. Okay. What was the steps? Or go to the website and search for Genshin Impact. Okay. So just use this, I guess. Yeah, that looks like the right one. There's Genshin Impact. Okay, we found Genshin Impact.
You will find an installation script, often managed by the community or a tool like an anime game launcher.
No, it's just Genshin. There's no launcher. Interesting. Anyway.
Click the Install button on the Lutris website or within the app to run the script. This script will set up a proper isolation environment, a Wine prefix. Download and configure a specialized Wine version, often a custom build like Wine GE or Proton GE, designed for gaming. Run the official installer. Step.
Okay, let's, so click the Install button. Okay. Now there's two things here. Why are there two things here? I don't know. This is a clean standard default installation. AAGL launcher is deprecated. Use official launcher installed instead. Okay. Wait a minute. Does that mean that this is the launcher and the other one is the actual game? So if I install this first, open Lutris, install. Yeah, that's fine. Download. Oh. Download. Oh, install. Installation complete. What is that? Launch. Okay, maybe this is what I was doing wrong before, because before I would do this one instead. I would install right there, and it would run Lutris for a while, there would just be lines of who knows what going through Lutris, and then it would say error code 123, and I was like, what is that? And I was about to come here and figure out what that is. Lutris Genshin Impact desktop. Launch anyway. I don't think anything's happening. Oh! We're gonna see if this is gonna work. What's happening? I guess because I did that standard version installation before, it has the files to have the game. So now everything is there. Everything's working. But I'm not at the correct step. I'm at step 2 still. So let's just see what step 3 is. Okay.
Step 3. Address the current HoYo Play link to .lnk issue. Your current installation is probably functional but misconfigured or broken due to a launcher update. The fastest way to fix it is to reinstall it using Lutris. Option A, clean slate, recommended. If your friend installed it in a separate folder, delete that entire installation folder and the old HoYo Play link to .lnk shortcut.
Oh. Okay. It's in here. And then in here... yeah. Are you sure you want to permanently delete these 3 selected items? Yeah, I guess.
Proceed with the Lutris installation script from step 2. This is the cleanest way to ensure all necessary components are correctly set up. Okay. Option B. If you want to keep your current files, right-click on the HoYo Play link to .lnk shortcut and select Properties.
I don't know why you would do this. I mean, the cloud server is where your game progress is. Like, I can just log in to my account when I get the game running, and there's my progress. So...
the target or command field might show the exact link to .x file path, usually something like drive_c program files Genshin Impact. Oh.
Yeah, about that. When I download things or install things, it doesn't say C drive, D drive, E drive like it did on Windows. Even though I have a hard drive C and D, and then solid state for E. Now when I install things or download stuff, it just says local disk or something along those lines. And I don't know why. I don't know where my files are going specifically.
Open Lutris, click the plus icon, and select Add Locally Installed Game. Set.
Okay. Oh, where's Lutris? Okay, what do? Oh, this is if... Yeah, if you want to keep that. So I can ignore this.
Set the runner to wine. In the Game Options tab, set the executable to the path of the launcher link to .x you found in the Shortcuts properties. This is advanced and might not work, which is why option A is better. Step 4. The known Genshin impact workaround, crucial, due to a check added by Hoyoverse. Many Linux users need to use a special trick after the launcher is installed. The game launcher itself may work, but when you click Launch Game, the game will fail to start. The workaround is to briefly disconnect your network. Open the Genshin Impact launcher, using the new Lutris setup. Click the Launch Game button. Immediately disconnect your laptop from the internet, e.g., toggle your Wi-Fi off or unplug the Ethernet cable. Wait a few seconds for the actual game window to appear, not the launcher. Once the game window appears, reconnect to the internet. This bypasses the anti-cheat's initial environment check and allows you to play normally. You will need to repeat this process every time you launch the game.
Fuck. Let's just see if it runs at this point. Missing? What the fuck does that mean? Oh, maybe the place that he saved the folder to is the same place that I was downloading everything to. So reopen. I guess we can't reopen a tab. So now I install the game. Yeah, this is the box of things that just went through Lutris before. And then it stopped and it said exit code, whatever it was. It was a 3-digit exit code. And that's what confused me before. That's not a mistake, by the way. It is 5 a.m. Well, it was midnight, but then I doom scrolled on Facebook Reels, and then I doom scrolled on Reddit, and I haven't even opened YouTube yet. Well, I did last night. I beg your pardon? Oh. Yeah, YouTube is open. You can see that in the top left, but that is from last night, my last night. So, finish and launch. Like, if I'm considering this to still be night, then this would be considered your last night. But my last night would be the night before. That's when I had YouTube on and I was watching YouTube. We're going to see if this is going to actually work. That's the fun part. Seeing if this actually does the thing. Because if not, then I'm going to have to go back to Gemini and be like, what's going on? Error? Exited. Uh... So what the heck does this mean? How do I even say this? We have a problem. While Lutris was installing Genshin Impact would you call this code? Yeah, it's return code, so this is code, I guess. While Lutris was installing Genshin Impact, the bottom of the installation code the last two lines. I'll just add a picture. Okay, bring this up, and we're going to use a new tab to be our white background. I don't know how well this is going to work. We'll just use the black Linux background. So bring up shutter, make a selection, enter, and minimize that for now. Go back to Chrome, bring that up, copy, and paste. Okay, we have a problem. While Lutris was installing Genshin Impact, it stopped suddenly. Here's a picture.
That log output gives us some very specific clues. This looks like an issue during the initial setup of the launcher itself, possibly involving a required component that is crashing, or a configuration that the launcher doesn't like on a Linux-based Wine environment. Here is a breakdown of the important messages and what to do next. Key log messages: Wine. RLIMIT Nice is less than equals 20, unable to use set priority safely. Meaning, this is a warning, not a critical error. It just means Wine can't set the process priority as high as it would like. It is very common on Linux and is not what stopped the installation. Error: mihoyo _ chrome pref service link to factory.cc276. Meaning, this is an error from a Chromium embedded framework component, the web browser part of the launcher's UI. The official Genshin Impact launcher uses this for its interface, and it's a known point of failure in Wine, Proton environments. This is the likely cause of the crash. Monitored process exited. Initial process has exited, return code 0, meaning the program the MiHoYo installer, launcher, stopped running. The return code 0 technically means it exited successfully, but in this context, it often means the program quit unexpectedly after an internal error, like the one above, without giving a proper crash signal to Lutris. The fix: try a different Wine, Proton version. The script is using a specific version of Wine GE8 to 26x8664, and that version may not be playing nice with the latest launcher UI. The easiest and most common fix for this exact issue is to try a different Wine runner. Steps to change the runner, and try again: stop the current installation by clicking Abort in the top left. In the main Lutris window, go to the top left and click the menu button. Click Runners. In the list, find Wine. On the Wine row, click the download icon, down arrow, next to the version number. A window will pop up. Install a newer or different community version, specifically a Proton GE build. Look for one of the latest, Lutris GE Proton X, where XX is a high number, e.g., 9.2 or later, Wine TKG XX, or any other recent TKG build if available. Now, rerun the installation with the new runner. Go back to the main Lutris window. Right-click on the Genshin Impact placeholder game you just created and choose Configure. Go to the Runner Options tab. Change the Wine version drop-down to the newer GE Proton version you just downloaded. Click Save. Right-click the game again and choose Install. If that's not an option, you may need to delete the game entry and start the installation from the Lutris website again. When the installation window appears, make sure the new runner is selected. If the new runner still doesn't work, repeat the process and try a different one. This type of error is a cat-and-mouse game between the game developer's updates and the community compatibility layers, and trying different runners is the key to success.
Okay, so it's not that big of a deal. Now let's break that down slower.
That log output gives us some very specific clues. This looks like an issue during the initial setup of the launcher itself, possibly involving a required component that is crashing, or a configuration that the launcher doesn't like on a Linux-based Wine environment. Here is a breakdown of the important messages and what to do next. Key log messages: Wine. RLIMIT Nice is less than equals 20, unable to use set priority safely. Meaning, this is a warning, not a critical error. It just means Wine can't set the process priority as high as it would like. It is very common on Linux and is not what stopped the installation. Error: MiHoYo_Chrome pref service linked to factory.cc276. Meaning, this is an error from a Chromium embedded framework component, the web browser part of the launcher's UI. The official Genshin Impact launcher uses this for its interface, and it's a known point of failure in Wine, Proton environments. This is the likely cause of the crash. Monitored process exited.
Couldn't I just make a virtual box? Because I have watched Mudahar before. That is something he's mentioned before. And I've seen him work a virtual box. I don't know how we would go about setting that up, though. Like making the interface think that I'm running Windows. I don't know.
Initial process has exited, return code 0, meaning, the program, the MiHoYo installer, launcher, stopped running. The return code 0 technically means it exited successfully, but in this context, it often means the program quit unexpectedly after an internal error, like the one above, without giving a proper crash signal to Lutris. The fix: try a different Wine, Proton version. The script is using a specific version of Wine GE8 to 26x8664, and that version may not be playing nice with the latest launcher UI. The easiest and most common fix for this exact issue is to try a different Wine runner. Steps to change the runner, and try again: stop the current installation by clicking Abort in the top left.
Okay. We can close this, I guess. Abort. No, don't remove the game files. Okay, Okay. Okay, I mean, we're gonna redo the installation anyway. I guess it's fine. Okay, we clicked abort.
In the main Lutris window, go to the top left and click the menu button.
Okay. This?
Click Runners.
Okay, runners. Okay. I don't know what I did, but I did something. Um. Where's runners? Is there a help? About Lutris? Uh. In the main Lutris window, go to the top left and click the this menu button. That's this. It doesn't say runners. This is not where I find runners either. This is the toggle view, which is a weird icon for that. Why 4 boxes? What? Okay, I apologize, but you're about to see OBS because I obviously don't know what I'm doing, and I need to pause and figure it out and come back. Okay, after doom scrolling for way too long, I figured it out. Uh, it wants me to install a new runner for wine. Um, Runners is right here. I did not have to click this at all. I don't know why it told me to click this, but Runners is right here. So what I need to do is go to wine. What is this little box? Manage wine versions. Wine 1016. Staging AMD 64. WoW 64. 8664. Close that for now. Minimize that. Specifically a Proton GE build. Look for one of the latest. Lutris GE Proton. 2 numbers. So it doesn't say that. Wine TKG. This one just says wine. Maybe if I go to the little settings wheel, the cog, wine versions. Oh, GE Proton latest. Save. How do I install? It's acting like it's already installed, but it's obviously missing. Go back to the main Lutris window, right-click on the Genshin Impact placeholder game you just created and choose Configure. Okay. Configure. There we go. Go to the Runner Options tab. Okay. Change the wine version, drop down to the new version. Okay. If modified, these options supersede the same options from the base runner configuration. So the newer thing is already plugged in. I think that's what that means. Click Save. Right-click the game again and choose Install. If that's not an option, you may need to delete the game entry and start the installation from Lutris, the Lutris website again. When the installation window appears, so delete the entry, remove, uninstall. Yeah, that's fine. That's probably the right thing. Is that gonna disappear? I don't know what's going on. Why is that there? What? The word missing is gone. Does that mean anything? I don't know. delete the game entry and start the installation from the website again. The installation window appears. Make sure the new runner is selected. If the new runner still doesn't work, okay, so we are just going under the assumption that the new runner is going to be there. History, Genshin Impact. This is the game. You just lost. Exit with return code 256. That's the return code I got before. The one that I called 123. So that is... That's the unknown that I encountered before. So... do we have the right runner? boop, boop. How do I make sure I am using or applying the right runner. Okay, I did that. Configure the game to use the new runner. Find the Genshin Impact entry in your Lutris library. Right-click on the Genshin Impact. Select Configure. Go to the Runner Options tab. Find the Wine version drop-down menu. Select the new runner you just downloaded. Click Save. Okay, we did that. Relaunch the installation. Okay, so it should be fine. Okay. So let's get that error code. Two, 5, 6, I think it was. And then let's use Shutter to show Gemini. Minimize this and this. Pull it over here. Get Shutter. We're going to close that because we don't need that anymore. Selection. Okay. Go back to Gemini. I got another error. Oh, I meant to attach the image. No, hang on. Let me. What do I do? Oh, that, and then pull up this. Just copy this. Find copy. Copy. Paste? I can't do that. Let's just and we're just gonna completely ignore whatever it's saying above. Paste the actual thing there, and then boop. Okay, listen.
Thank you for providing the images. This clarifies the situation perfectly. It looks like you encountered two different errors during the installation process. Return code 0 error, Genshin launcher issue. This is the main issue that caused the loop. Return code 256 error, Winetrix issue. This happened when the installer tried to install a component that was already present. Here is a step-by-step solution to get past these errors and complete your installation. 1. Fix the Winetrix error, return code 256. The second error image shows, error, Winetrix verb, vcrun 2019 feet is already installed. All processes have quit. Exit with return code 256. This means the installer attempted to install a component, vcrun 2019, that was already in your wine prefix, and the script failed because of the exit code. Since the component is installed, we can safely ignore this step in the Lutris script. Action. You can try to clean the existing failed install and start the script again, but it's often easier to proceed to the next step since the initial process is complete. 2. Fix the Genshin launcher error, return code 0. The first image shows the known issue, error, mihoyo_chrome pref service link to factory.cc276 followed by initial process has exited, return code 0. This is a compatibility failure with the game's launcher that the Lutris script uses to initially download and run the client. Action. Bypass the Lutris installer by running the executable directly. Since the installer successfully copied some files, as seen by the cp and regedit commands in your log, the game executable might already be in the wine prefix. We can force Lutris to skip the faulty installer step and launch the game or its final launcher directly. A. Locate the correct executable. Right-click the Genshin Impact entry in Lutris and select Browse Files. This will open your wine prefix folder, the Virtual C drive. Navigate to the game's installation location, usually drive_C, Program Files, Genshin Impact game. Look for the main game executable, which is typically Genshin Impact linked to .x. Copy the full path to this file. B. Configure Lutris to launch the game. Right-click the Genshin Impact entry in Lutris and select Configure. Go to the Game Options tab. In the executable field, change the path from the installer to the one you just found, e.g., drive_C, Program Files, Genshin Impact game. Crucially, go to the Runner Options tab and make sure the Wine version is set to a recent, stable version like Lutris GE Proton 9X, X or later. Your log still shows the old Wine GE8 to 26x8664. Click Save. See Run the game.
That's not right. That's not right at all. You just saw me select the newer version. Why? Why does it still show the old one?